Hi, my name is Jessica Wood and I'm an occupational therapy student, and today's group is a sensory processing group. I appreciate you all being flexible and participating online in the comfort of your own homes. I understand this transition of online learning is challenging for all of us, and I hope you'll be able to use some of this information from today's group as you see fit. So today I'm going to be discussing the topic of sensory processing, specifically in regards to our new transition to online learning and the school-related stress that comes with that. The title of today's session is called Finding Your Inner Zen, and the purpose of this group is to help to encourage you all to learn to regulate your own levels of arousal, to gain knowledge of your sensory preferences, and to help you learn to manage your responses to the stimuli in your environment. There's a lot of information in regards to sensory processing. However, I've gathered some key points that I think is important to be aware of from the chapter. Sensory processing is the means by which individuals obtain information about the world and their own bodies. This is a multi-step process in which we obtain information from 7 different sensory systems. From the posted handout, you will see that we have our visual system, auditory, olfactory, taste, tactile, vestibular, and proprioceptive systems that we obtain information from. If a person has a sensory processing disorder, there is something called a sensory modulation disorder, in which a person may have overresponsivity, which is an exaggerated response to sensory input, or some of us may have underresponsivity, which is a lack of response or insufficient response to the sensory environment. A person who craves constant intense sensations would be titled sensory seeking. I'm going to discuss Dunn's model of sensory processing that you could see on your handout. So there is sensory sensitivity with a low threshold and passive response, sensory avoiding with a low threshold and active response, low registration with a high threshold and passive response, and sensation seeking with a high threshold and active response. There's different sensory-based interventions based on your handout that we've provided for you. And these can address the problems that come with the sensory modulation disorders that I've previously discussed. So there's a zones of regulation chart, which was also provided, so you can have that as well to refer to. Something called an alert program and a deep pressure touch strategy. So in the next video, we're going to be discussing some of the expectations of the group and how to run this activity, as well as introducing the warm-up for when we have our discussion on Wednesday. Thank you.